If you want to get your ex back, or if you want to fix your relationship problems, watch this video. If you don't have the willingness to walk away, you will be controlled. And you don't know what to do. All you hear is just bullshit, no contact. Watch this video because I'm going to give you 15 examples of manipulation. And what you might be doing yourself, and your ex is probably doing as well. These behaviors, I want you to recognize them, identify them, and diffuse them. You need to build a strong reality for yourself. If you don't have a strong reality, she can change your reality in a second. And if she can break your reality, it will cost you attraction. People are so unaware of this that they even teach you this. They teach you to use no contact, which is retaliation, which is passive aggression. They teach you that it's a punishment. Let me trick her into missing me. Relationship coaches, they teach you this so she miss you and come back to you. In society, there's always this idea of, I'm not complete, I'm half. My life is not good until I find you and you complete me. Like Jerry Maguire bullshit. You complete me, now my life has a meaning, now I'm whole. What that creates a pretty toxic environment of an incomplete person, another incomplete person, they get together. Now, what happens? If you worry all the time that this person leaves you, you're gonna be incomplete again. You're gonna be unhappy again. This is what is promoted. It's a good thing to find somebody and you guys complete each other, which is so wrong, because a relationship that is based on fear of losing each other. What if this person leaves? I've worked with thousands of guys, literally thousands, I'm not making a number up. I've worked with more than 6,000 guys who were going to break up and want to get back together. Some of them we successfully fix a relationship, some of them we can't fix a relationship. And I explained why this problem happens. This problem comes up because fundamentally most people don't understand they should not step into a relationship before they fix certain things in themselves and their personality. And that's why relationships bring all of these things up. Now, what happens if you don't fix yourself? What happens if you go in a relationship, you think you love that person because she makes you feel good? She makes you feel not scared about life. She makes you feel like, okay, I'm not gonna die alone. She makes you feel like, oh, my life finally has a goal. My life finally has a meaning. I can finally be happy. I can finally sit back and enjoy life because I have everything else in my life sorted. Now the only thing that was missing was this part. Now this woman comes and complete my life. Now I've found her. Now let me go and be together. So you start a relationship but you go into this relationship, but because you missed the big fact here that you're not ready for that relationship, that woman will never be the reason that you're happy. That woman can never make you happy in that relationship. So then problems come. And these problems come in different forms. For example, there are 15 classic forms of manipulation in relationships that I'm sure you have experienced, but most people are not aware of it. And think about if this ever happened to you, either from your end or from her end. Guilt tripping is a big one. I hear this pretty much every week when I'm talking to guys who are either going through a divorce or about to get divorced, and what happens with their wife tells them something about their kid. For example, our son has problem at school, you didn't pay me enough child support, so I cannot buy him a new jacket, now it's cold, and other kids are making fun of him. So she makes him feel bad. This could go both ways. Or emotional blackmailing. For example, you're in a relationship but things are falling apart and she wants to break up with you, and you tell her, hey, you know what? If you leave, I'm gonna kill myself. Her blackmail her emotionally, so she cannot even leave now. Because if she leaves, you told her you're gonna kill yourself. Or another good example is gaslighting. Make her doubt her reality, or she makes you doubt your reality. Very common. Lying is the oldest trick in the book. Just change the truth because you cannot stick to reality. For example, sex dies, and I see somebody else, I like her, I would have sex with her, but I don't have sex with my girlfriends, but I love her, but I don't feel sexually attracted to her, which is something that most women don't understand, that a guy could love a woman but have sex with somebody else. Most women don't understand this and brings a lot of complications. Anyways, this situation happens, then cheating happens, and you lie to each other. If you look at Ashley Madison, you see how many hundreds of thousands of people, maybe it was millions of people who were in this system. It was just a website for cheaters. Another common one is withholding from sex. Not getting sexual, not giving sex to prove a point or to create some negative emotions to get a reaction out of him or her. Another classic one is silent treatment. I was on a date, I remember, a few years ago with this girl We go on a date. I was on my phone. I shouldn't have been on my phone, but I was on my phone. I wasn't giving her attention. So I remember I finished this texting. It took like 20 seconds. Very quick. I don't remember exactly how long it was, but it wasn't pleasant. We were in a nice place. I finished the text. I put the phone down. I see she just didn't talk. We were in a really nice fancy restaurant. Are you okay? She wasn't talking. The whole dinner, 1.5 hours, they brought like 5 courses. She didn't talk one word all the way back home. She didn't talk. On tomorrow morning, she didn't talk. Silent treatment. Triggering jealousy. For example, your wife or your girlfriend or you go and start flirting with somebody else to get a reaction out of him or her. Attacking either in public or one-on-one, criticizing, belittling. Threats and ultimatum is a big one as well. Hey, I could leave you if you don't do what I want. I'm going to leave you. If you don't give me what I want, I'm going to leave you. Pulling back and hiding, triggering worry. For example, you're supposed to be home at 5 o'clock, or she's supposed to be home at 5 o'clock, and it's dark outside. You don't hear back from her until 10 o'clock. You go crazy. But she was doing it on purpose, just hiding in a bar or in a cafe or with friends, just going airplane mode to get you to feel negative emotions. Punishment or retaliation, passive aggression, like classic no contact. Dude, you know what the funny thing is? People are so unaware of this that they even teach you this. They teach you to use no contact, which is retaliation, which is passive aggression. They teach you that it's a punishment. Let me trick her into missing me. Relationship coaches, they teach you this, so she miss you and come back to you. This is mind-boggling. How people even... That's why I say most relationship coaches are bullshit people, because they're not trained. They just hear something somewhere else and they just come and teach it to people. When I was learning this from Tony Robbins, it was really difficult to understand how complex the psychology is and how far we can go to do this to get some reaction. Tony was talking about this woman attempting a suicide to get attention from her husband. It's that deep. That's how far this thing can go. So don't underestimate what is happening in your relationship. Overpromising is another classic one. You overpromise, so she stays with you. For example, next summer we're going to go to Paris, we're going to go to Rome, then we're going to go to New York. After that, we're going to go to Tokyo. Then I'm going to take you to Sydney. And after that, I don't know, we're going to go back home. So you promise something massive, so she stayed with you to cover your problems and things that you don't want her to notice. Another big one is comparison and humiliation. Oh, look at him. Look how successful he is. Look how much money they have. Look how good of a job he's doing. What about you? You're not doing that. Breakup threats. If you don't do this, I'm going to leave you. I think I talked about this one. As you can see, there are a lot of dangerous patterns that can happen in relationships. And if you're not careful, this thing can happen to you as well. You might do them unconsciously to control the other person, or she can do them to control you. I very highly recommend you to understand these dynamics, understand yourself, understand your emotions. If you want to get her back, if you want to get into a relationship with anybody, first do my program. Understand inner control, understand outer control, understand transitioning to relationship, understand how you should communicate with that person, understand how to set boundaries. Without these, it would be impossible for you to have a good relationship. If you don't understand these behaviors, you may do them without realizing, or she may do them without you recognizing, and your relationship is going to fall apart. So make sure you understand this, write it down, work on this, read on this. If you want to get this girl back, you need to go through all of this, because you may not understand them. For example, a big one is that guys always tell me, oh Ben, she's super hot, now she's super cold. She told me all of these nice things, now she pulls out, what should I do? You need to understand the patterns. You need to understand what are the patterns, either in text message or face-to-face behavior. Then you have to stick to one route. Most guys don't have boundaries. They don't know what to do. They're not grounded. And she pulls back, then they also pull back, or they go closer to her. Then she comes close, they also go close, or they pull back. You need to be grounded. You need to have one direction. You need to know what is your frame of reference and only do what works. That's why you need to be decisive. That's why you need to understand the rules that are teaching in the program. That's why you need to understand the protocols. Protocol number 2, for example, having the willingness to walk away. If you don't have the willingness to walk away, you will be controlled. You need to build a strong reality for yourself. If you don't have a strong reality, she can change your reality in a second. And if she can break your reality, it will cost you attraction. So if you want to get her back, remember, you need to learn to not be bossed around by your emotions. You need to learn how to be grounded. You need to understand her hot and cold. There's a way to not be a pushover. There are a lot of habits that guys have, that things they do, it brings them down, but they keep doing those things. You need to stop those. There's a big list of those I'll give you in the program.